Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, please take a minute to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. So let's get into today's video.
That's good.
So one thing that we will all come across, especially when you're in the market for a new car or your first car, you might have a couple questions like, what should I really be looking for in a car? Some people, I feel like, well, I'll speak for myself. I definitely made the mistake of buying a car that I really didn't know much about as a first car. I kind of got it because of opportunity. The time was right. The price was right. And those are kind of the things that I took into consideration. But I think looking back now, I kind of wish that I had this kind of advice. So one of my favorite places to go for car advice or to compare or to figure out, is this car that I'm looking for, is it going to fit my budget, not only now, but long term? So one website that I love is carsdirect.com. I actually use them to compare my previous car to the car I have now. So with carsdirect.com, you can compare things like gas mileage, what's the cabin space, the front seat, hip room, headroom, leg room, etc. And you can compare to see, is this the car that I want to transition to? Or if it's your first car, you can say, well, is this going to fit my budget long term? I think a lot of people, they don't necessarily think about repair cost. That is something that will be the biggest point of owning a car. Is the car going to hold up? Is the car going to be a good daily driver? Is the maintenance expensive? A good starting point would be, what gas mileage am I looking for? What miles per gallon do I need? So for instance, if you're using this car as your daily driver, depending on how far you're traveling, you might want to take that into consideration along with the gas prices in your area. Some cars may take premium gas, and some cars, regular gas is just fine. Honda, for example, or Toyota. And then you have cars like Audi, Lexus, and basically, depending on how often you're driving your car, you might want to take that into consideration. Like, okay, will I be able to afford how much gas this needs if I'm driving this car every day? Let's say a car that you're interested in gets about, on average, 30 miles a gallon. And a good tool that I like to use is, how much gas will I be paying for each week? Then you take that weekly amount. How much gas will I be paying for in a month? Will my gas cost as much as my car insurance? Will it cost as much as my car payment? Not only is the gas important, but also too, repair expense. Is this car, is it going to be expensive for me to get the parts that I need? Typically, when you're buying your first car, it's going to be a couple years old, maybe even 10 years old or more. And if it's a reliable car, there's nothing wrong with that. However, as time goes on, you're going to have problems with the car. So me personally, I had a 2007 Honda Civic, which every year there was something new. So you want to make sure that the repairs of the car is not going to exceed the overall value of the car itself. A lot of people make the mistake of when they're going for a car, they kind of just see the emblem, you know, like they see, oh, this is a flashy car. But if you're looking to be cost effective, there's a lot of different things that you can look into. Is the car reliable? Sometimes we can buy a car that just doesn't last long, and we may go for a car like as is, and may just kind of brush off a lot of the defects that we may see in the beginning. But in the long run, as I mentioned, depending on the kind of car that you choose, the maintenance and repair costs, it can really cost you a lot in the long run. So if you are buying a used car from a private seller, one of the most important things that you can do would be to compare the car's condition to the Kelley Blue Book value. And basically what that means is this person selling me this car at a good price point? Is this car, is it worth what I'm going to be paying for? And there's a lot of different things that you can customize in Kelley Blue Book. Does the car have dents? How's the paint? Does it have any sort of mechanical issues? How old is the car? What model is the car? What is the interior? And what you can do is, once you put in the answers to all those questions, you can see, hey, you're kind of overcharging for this. And it also too depends on mileage. So the person may charge a little more if the car has low miles. If you're in the market for a new car, or if you're a first-time car buyer, the most important things that you should take into consideration is your budget. Or not even your budget, but your money mapping. Where do you want to put your money in the future as you continue to own this car? Because every car comes with an expense. So as you can see, routine maintenance is definitely a necessity when it comes to your vehicle. But it's up to you to decide where you want that money to be spent. So the first thing that you should definitely look out for when you're purchasing a new car is gas. Gas mileage is so important. So if you're looking to save money in that area, a good suggestion would be to look at a car that has a higher miles per gallon and a lower sized gas tank, so that you're not going to break the bank to fill up your car, and it'll also burn at a slower rate. Second thing is, if you are buying a used car, definitely check the facts first. Like I mentioned, usedcarsdirect.com to be able to see what's the hip room like, what's the headroom like, what's the leg room like, are the people in my car going to be comfortable, what's the height of the vehicle, what's the safety ratings, and could really thoroughly do your research, because the car that you think you want may not be the car that you continue to want in the future. A third thing would be Kelley Blue Book. If you're buying the car used, assess the current condition of the car and compare it with what the value should be on that website. Also, number 4 would be repair costs and maintenance down the line. Is this car cost effective? Depending on your needs and your budget, or your money mapping, or what you want or what you choose to spend your money on as time goes by, that'll set you up for success, so that you don't make the mistake of buying a car that you think you want, but down the line turns out you hate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Make sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next one.